Hey guys, welcome to Sopi Mix Studio Ames, conectando Aruba com o mundo via vídeo podcasting. Conectar conosco, compartilhar ideias e histórias para nos inspirar e para nos abrir. Sopi Mix Studio é a plataforma de podcast na Aruba. Follow-nos no Facebook, subscribe no YouTube ou na plataforma de podcast preferido. Escute o podcast preferido que hora e onde está. Sopi Mix Studio, powered by Qredits. Botiu ideia? Qredits educa e prepara abo para ser um empresário exitoso. De business plan, guia personal e préstamo para negócio até com 100,000 forinhos. Bira para mês donho com Qredits. Sopway. Passa na Sopway para o sop, salada, wrap ou flatbread e mais fresco. Com 7 localidades rond Aruba. Nós está cerca de Ibo. Sopway. Swingmasterz. Organizando events, conferences of weddings, Mr. de luz, sound, staging, DJ, trussing of flat screen, Swingmasterz está claro para ser boa fiesta éxito. Swingmasterz. E agora, Sopi Mix Studio é plataforma de podcast de Aruba está apresentar.
Sincerely Carolina is powered by Lindy Boutique, Proframe, The Shelf, CeraVe, and Crest. Hello. Happy Monday. Welcome to Sincerely Carolina. My name's Carolina and I am your host of this podcast where I get to talk about whatever I want to talk about and whatever I think is important to talk about. And as you know, we are on the Pride series. So yes, we will be talking about topics related to that. Before I continue, I want to say thank you to Sopi Mix Studio for allowing me to do this show, but also thank you to my awesome sponsors who have believed in Sincerely Carolina and my topics. Thank you to Lindy Boutique, Proframe. Thank you to CeraVe, to Crest, Gillette. I feel like I'm missing someone. I'm always missing someone. Okay, I'm gonna get to it. Anyways, I have awesome guests. Proframe, thank you. Since I mentioned at the beginning, did I? Thank you so much, Bryan. So Bryan is, as you can hear, he is on this show today. Shout out to Bryan who makes my very cute designs every week for my shows. Thank you. Okay, so without further ado, we have 4 guests today. I think this is like the most guests I have ever had on my show. Usually I have like max 3, but we have one who is calling in internationally today. We will be speaking in English because I do want this topic to reach as many people as possible. And we will be talking about rainbow washing. And I know we have to explain a little bit of what it is because maybe some of you don't know what it is. But so just a little like backstory because there's so much we can talk about when we talk about Pride. But at the beginning of this month, or I think the end of last month, I reached out to Ames. Hi, Ames. And we always bounce off ideas. So we were thinking, what are topics we should really focus on for Aruba? And I know there's a lot of topics that everybody wants to talk about, but I do want it to be a little educational. And rainbow washing was something. This is also a topic that Bryan suggested, seeing that it's not just happening locally. Obviously, it's happening international, and there's a huge discussion. So that's how we got to this topic. But anyways, so I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves, starting with Egmar.
Hi. I'm Egmar, Irausquin. I'm the secretary of Fundacion Orguyo. So we're like a
yes, please do explain.
Foundation that has been established in 2019, and for the main purpose of going to court. So we start cases against the government for LGBT people who want to get married, or most of them were getting married. Some were transgender. So it would also be like men marrying a man because transgender was not also legalized in a way, so you cannot change your sex at the end. So and we won most cases. Actually, all cases were won. The government, the law says you have to come up with a solution for the LGBT community. If you're not willing to accept marriage for the same sex, you should give them something different, but actually has to have the same rights.
Okay.
So that's kind of weird because you need to give someone something else that's not marriage, but it has to have all the marriage
components.
everything. So basically, just call it marriage. But anyway, so they just want to play with words.
Yes.
Not to hurt some people, I guess.
I can imagine.
So,
I can imagine. All right, that's very interesting. And if this sparked a little curiosity in you, I just want to let you know that for next week, I do want to talk a little bit about these taboos and kind of how things are so nuanced, for the sake of not stepping on people's toes, etc. So we will be talking a little bit about that, about taboos and, how just the LGBT topic makes people feel in general. So stay tuned for that as well. But yes, I'm looking at you, Ames. Hi.
Hey. My name is Ames. I'm the president of the Becoming Equal Project. My pronouns are they, them. And the purpose of our project is to educate the community on all things LGBTQ+.
Yes. Awesome. And you may remember Ames from past episodes. We had an awesome episode last year, about a year ago, actually. It was really good, where we talked a little bit about everything, and it was very informational. So if you missed that episode, you can always rewatch it, but also look at the resource pages that we created that were really awesome.
Yep.
Yes. Joshue, it's nice to have you here again.
Hello. So my name is Joshue Garcia. You guys can call me Josh, and I'm an artist, and I dabble into a lot of different creative fields, such as dancing, graphic design, modeling, content creating, and all things that make me very much me.
Yes. Awesome. I love it. And all the way from New York, hello, Bryan.
Hello, happy to be here finally. My name is Bryan Caicedo, and I'm a member. I'm the CEO of Matiz Marketing, the one that makes the flyers for Sopi Mix, and also I'm a member of Pillow Talk, the podcast that talks about intimacy and educates about it. So I'm a sexinista also. In my free time, I teach and educate people about sexuality and intimacy products and toys for adults. And mostly, I'm very happy to be here because I was talking to Carolina and I was telling her how New York become all rainbow for 1 month, and then as soon as it's finished, it's all over. So it's like frustrating to see how everything is about appearance and marketing, and also me as a marketing manager. I have been working with different brands, and always I tell them, why not think about bringing your products to all type of people, to all genres, to all communities. So I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome. I'm happy to have you. All right. So let's jump into it a little bit. And Bryan, you explained a little bit of what it looks like, right? And I think that in Aruba, we have seen more of it this year as well. So we see all the logos change. All of a sudden, the logos have like a rainbow on them. And sponsors ads saying, happy Pride Month. And so anytime there's like one of these awareness months or days, I always get a little annoyed because they say happy and then whatever month or happy day. And usually these days did not come along in a happy way. And it's not like a birthday, the whole idea is for it to be continuous work and to, of course, celebrate how far, a movement has come, but also to signal what's to come. So the question and the debate really has been, okay, so we are plastering all these rainbows over everything, but are we doing the work? Are these companies who are saying happy Pride, happy Orguyo, right? And Aruba, so we adopted the Papiamento word as well. Are they doing something in their organization to ensure that their employees are feeling safe? I don't know. So I did a poll on my Instagram, which I love to do. And the results were very interesting. I shared them and then I quickly deleted them because I'm like, no. It's like I want to further analyze this and then, do some research on that. But I asked, how do people feel about rainbow washing? And I had 4 choices, and one of them was like, it's great. And the other one was like, it's great, but we need more work. Then one of the answers was like, this needs to stop. And then the other one was like, I don't care. But it was very interesting to see the results because it was very divided. And I do have to say the biggest result was that people think it's great because it creates some awareness, but it should also be tied to more action. And that big group was millennials. So that was really interesting to see. But Gen Zs really felt like this needs to stop. Rainbows should not be on things in the month of June. So I am looking right at you, Josh, because Josh is our Gen Z representative today for this particular topic. And you also voted that you think this should stop. So I'm going to go right into you and, tell me why you feel this way and what this has triggered for you, or where your perception is really
about the entire situation.
Yes.
So basically, I think that I actually think that it's really great that a lot of people are nowadays more supportive of the LGBTQ plus community, and we have really gotten a really long way, and I'm super proud of that. But I feel like a lot of companies that for Pride Month, they suddenly switch up and say oh my God, yes, we're an ally, we support you, and they change everything to rainbows and make it seem as if they're this huge supporter, but at the end of the month it's okay, no, let's get rid of everything rainbow, let's get rid of everything, and let's not do anything else to sort of help people within this community to, for example, reach a certain level of rights, or just to allow them to progress forward as a community. And that's why I feel like sometimes, I like seeing rainbows too. I'm all about rainbow glitters. I love that, have a very beautiful Princess Day. But at the end of the day, when it comes to, actually doing something for people's rights and actually getting people somewhere, that's sort of different. So plastering, rainbows everywhere is cute, but it's not, at the end of the day, at the end of the month, that doesn't really do anything more than just say, we support you for a month, and then afterwards it's you.
Yeah, where are you the other 11 months out of the year?
Exactly.
Exactly. And so at the beginning, we always have small talk right before we start recording. And I was saying, I am a very optimistic millennial. I really do believe that there is power in creating awareness and movements. But if you have been following my podcast for a little bit, or me on social media, you know that I am also very critical. So again, I do love seeing the awareness it creates, because it really pushes conversation, because it's in people's faces, and you will have people feeling truly uncomfortable, forced to acknowledge something that they didn't have to acknowledge before. So I like that. But, Bryan, you were just saying that New York also does this on a much bigger scale, obviously. In Aruba, we do have fast fashion, but it's not as fast as, obviously, in the U.S. So I can imagine the stores, if I just go online, my favorite stores, they all have, rainbow merch. What is it like?
So something that I want to bring up or add what Josh said is that, honestly, I don't feel Pride is a fashion season. Fashion industry is divided by fall, winter. And then there's the other one that is the other half of the year that is
spring and summer.
Spring and summer. Thank you. So the fashion industry is divided like that. I feel like they add Pride Month fashion, and then they think about queer people, and then they bring queer models, transgender models to the industry, and then the rest of the year they don't keep in mind of that. Honestly, I'm not upset of companies or brands bringing LGBTQ awareness during the Pride Month, but I would be more happy if they continue the whole year, promoting the clothing, saying hey, I like me as I identify as non-binary, but I go by all the pronouns. But people like queer, for example, I would like that they show a shirt and they said, you see, this shirt is not for only women. A man can wear it, a queer person can wear it, and that's the thing that also I was watching beer companies, the whole year when you see their commercials, everything is very straight. Is the guy that likes to have beers, watching sports, or he's in a bar with his friends. What about gay people? We like to get drunk too. We like to have parties. So
we too
I'm
like sports.
Why not?
Also, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I don't like sports, but we like art. Me and Josh can have a beer in an art museum.
There you go.
But yeah,
Yes.
it's the thing. We keep promoting the idea that we have long time ago. I was talking in one of my on a podcast. I was talking about Victoria's Secret, for example. They their company is going down because they bring this idea of the perfect woman, skinny, tall, and that's over. When Rihanna came with her runway of lingerie, she had fat, skinny drag queens, all type, man, woman,
Mm-hmm.
old people, young people, and that's the reality. We are in
Yep.
a world where the standard that they have been creating, I think the 80 or 90% doesn't fit in that standard. And they make us think that we are ugly because we don't fit in that standard.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking that gay people doesn't, the LGBTQ plus doesn't exist in this standard of marketing is wrong. And that's why I feel like the rainbow washing and everything and all this is just to be part of the month and be part of the trend as they see it, but it's not a trend, it's a reality. And we
Yep.
celebrate a whole month because we want to show people that hey, when we was kids, we was not invited to those parties that you had the whole year for everything, and we want to be part of a party that is celebrating who we are.
Mm-hmm. And
Sorry if I get too excited with this,
no,
but
no, no. That's great.
and honestly, when I work with my clients, I
Mm-hmm.
always bring the proposal of, hey, what about doing it like do like a flyer where you cannot see if it's a woman or it's a man or it goes directly to men. What about women too? And or gay people, gay
Mm-hmm.
couples, like
Mm-hmm.
we are out there. Like there's a product that I was working with them, and it's called Gray, and it's a necklace with a vibrator on, and it was the idea was only for women, like, oh, woman, this is a vibrator specifically for the clitoral for the woman. I said, why men cannot wear it and use it with their wife, or why lesbians cannot use it,
Mm-hmm.
or a gay boy, he wants to play with it and feel the vibration in some parts, even if it's not for penetration, but you can play with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they increase their sales by a 10% with men, because the husband was like, hey, this is a good idea. I have my wife, I want to surprise her, I have a vibrator on my neck, I can use it with her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just seeing the things from other perspective and be open to realize that there's more people in the world. It's not men and women.
Yeah. And yes. Yes, that was really good perspective. And I was reading too that there's a lot of hiring that goes on right prior to Pride Month of queer folks. And then it's just for Pride Month, so they let them create stuff, and then it's like bye bye. And I mean, it is a problem. So of course these
Or
companies.
I can or I
Mhm.
can add to that. During the Pride Month, they allowed us, like some companies,
Mhm.
they allowed us to paint our nails, change our hair color, because they want
Mm.
us to express how we want. And then
Okay.
after Pride Month, oh, it's not Pride Month. You cannot wear because that's not part of the
Company
uniform or
policy.
the standard. Yeah, company
Okay.
policies. Thank
Wow.
you.
Okay. So
But
okay.
but if
Yes.
I can bring this back
Please.
to Aruba, obviously America is in our state. They already have equal rights
In some states.
in most states, officially supposed. Who knows? But Aruba is not there yet. So we are fighting a fight that this rainbow washing is actually helping.
Mm-hmm.
So it's giving us power, and it's giving us also visibility.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need in Aruba right now. Even though it's for a month, we should really use it and overuse it. Just to make sure that they don't forget us, because we will not get this type of support the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reality, but it's important to use it right now. So for our foundation, it was important prior to this Pride, we thought about how we're gonna push this, like to activate everybody. And it was very simple. It was just like sending a few messages saying, hey, we're coming up with this Pride Month calendar. Are you doing something? Do you want to be on it? And we made also like a frame for Facebook, so people can support and can add it on. But Facebook stopped that system, so you cannot have automatic framing anymore. But okay, so we came up in a
with a solution.
very
Yes.
How you call it, simple solution, like send us a message, and we will put the frame for you, and we'll send you the picture back. Which was very genius, because we were like posting a lot about it, and nobody was putting any negative comments on it.
Nice.
Because it said, if you comment, we will give you your picture with a frame. So the homophobes were not commenting.
Of course.
That was so good.
Because then they'll get a picture back.
A
Nice.
few
Okay.
of them commented, and we were just like putting the frame, sending it back. Take it down. I'm not giving you the rights. Like, okay, but
It literally says that.
the whole post.
You gave up your rights when you signed up.
You
for
gotta
Facebook.
learn to read.
So that was good.
Facebook owns your content now.
And
Well,
since 1 of June, a lot of companies kept doing the same. Now, I think we're above 70 companies that has done something with Pride in Aruba this month. That's for the first time, I guess.
Yes.
Before this, I mean, in the 2010 and up, maybe you will have Marriott Hotel doing something, Ritz-Carlton internally does something, but most companies or hotels are not visible like that. And this year, it's like at least 4 to 5 hotels already being visible with a flag, with the colors in lights, organizing events. So yeah, we're progressing. So for us, it's important. The rainbow washing.
I think
And
that's nice.
Yes. And I was discussing this with someone else as well, because I saw the fast food chain, I'm not going to say their name, but the fast food chain who had a really
Oh boy.
interesting campaign with their buns. And
Not in Aruba.
oh, it wasn't in Aruba?
No.
Aw.
It's kind of impossible in Aruba.
No, it wasn't.
Aw, I got so excited because I was like, I never go there, but I was like, I would just want to go to order 2 different ones and then figure out which side of the bun I actually like most. I don't know. But anyways, so somebody sent it to me and it's like, Carolina, look at this. What do you think? And my immediate reaction was like, it's rainbow washing. And then I was like, and we start a conversation, and it's like, yeah, but it starts conversation, visibility, and I was like, yes, I was a little too quick to do that. And at the same time, what I have been doing is really keeping track. So I do this. If you are new to my podcast, you should know that I keep track of people and companies, okay? So I have little notes in my phone, and I write people's names and companies' names, and I go back and see if they are fulfilling whatever pledge they, signed up to. I do that. Anyways, and I decided like, so a bunch of companies, like you said, are doing these things, and it would be interesting to see if indeed they are going to continue that energy throughout the year. So it creates a platform for accountability, starting with their own employees, right? What you were saying, Brian, so, in Pride Month, you're allowed to like dye your hair and paint your nails and whatever, and it's, almost like, I don't know, I feel like that would piss me off so much, if somebody would say that only in this 1 month you're allowed to do certain things. But it allows that space for accountability. So I do agree that is a good thing, especially for Aruba, where the topic in itself is taboo and people want to stay good with a bunch of people at the same time. But now you have put yourself out there, and it's going to be hard to walk back if you decide to create policies that are conflicting with this. So you have a good point there. Ames, how do you feel? I mean, I love the Becoming Equal project. You know this. I have been a fan since day one. It is very good information. It's very... so I have been sharing, by the way, a bunch of videos about pronouns, because people have a hard time with pronouns, and the videos are short. And
they do.
Yes.
A lot.
But it's, and it explains it well and explains the difference. Anyways, so how do you feel about all of this?
I think what you said was very true to what it is. We aren't on the same wavelength as the US and other countries. We're still catching up. So whatever, Europe or the US or any other nation is doing, we have to subtract 10 to 20 years from that. So as much as I personally am not a fan of rainbow washing, and I feel like if you're going to slap a rainbow on anything and make a whole pride pack of merchandise, you have to back it up with what you do with that money that you make. You have to back it up with how you treat your employees. You have to back it up with who you choose to donate and sponsor. And you can't sit there and say, yes, I am an ally, ooh, gay people. And then the moment July 1st hits, it's like, oh, I don't know you. Just don't look at me. But I feel like with the fact that we have all the, with all the rainbows we have now and all the events, I think it's a start. But I also think that we are in a position now compared to what other nations were 20 years ago, that we don't have to go down the same path of only having rainbows in June. We can start the change now by saying, yeah, cool, rainbows in June. Have you thought about rainbows in November? Have you thought of it in like March? And elongate that and not just have it in 1 month. We have that opportunity to essentially make all year round a rainbow.
I agree. And, you know, that is why, and that is why I love like your content, Joshue. You're always talking about your being as a person, right? And all the challenges that you face as a person, as a, you know, queer person, but as a dancer, as a model, everything. And I love how more and more people are doing this. So yes, of course, for Pride Month, I loved your photo shoot that you had. You had this, you know, bang, it's June 1st. But if you go through your timeline, you talk about shopping, you know, some challenges that you might face there, choosing to shop, for example, in the women's section. So how would you encourage more people to, and not just queer people, right? Because I always tell people, just because somebody belongs to a group doesn't mean that they are your walking encyclopedia for that particular purpose. And that counts for people with disabilities, everything. Okay.
Amen.
So, or just women in general, you know, this is just because you meet this one person doesn't mean this person has the answer to everything and they should be your go-to person to ask about everything and anything.
Because even those people have opinions and their opinions aren't always right either.
Exactly.
So it creates a weird little
of course
randomness.
Yeah.
But the more people we have, the more true an image we can get of life in Aruba. So how is that like for you, right? Just managing that throughout the whole year.
The whole year. So basically, growing up here in Aruba, it's always been really hard to, you know, fully embrace myself and fully accept myself. You know, as a little queer boy, you really don't have any sort of like support from your country, or at least that's how I felt. Growing up in an environment where boys should act like boys and girls should act like girls, it was always like this weird little like space where I was like, okay, well, what do I do now? And now that I have, you know, I've built up that confidence and I've built up that love for myself through my experiences that I've been through, I can now like fully share my experiences and share who I am, you know, with the rest of the world in hopes that, you know, me doing that could help someone else feel love within themselves and being, you know, who they are, like fully embracing that. And of course, with Pride Month, I feel I'm super proud and I'm super happy to say that I am queer, that I am gay, and I love that absolutely. And, you know, as soon as Pride first hit, I was like, yay, rainbows. Like, you know, like I love that because Pride Month it's not just about, you know, plastering rainbows everywhere and, you know, being, you know, very colorful, but it's a reminder of how far we've come in all the fights, all the sisters, brothers, and non-binary loves that we, you know, lost throughout the years of fighting for rights. And it should, you know, be a staple in every year that, you know, this is a reminder of this is how it went down. It wasn't all pretty at all. It's still not all that pretty. There's a lot of places around the world where being a part of this community can, you know, get you killed or you know, arrested or stuff like that. So I feel like that's what people have to remember too, is that it's not just about, you know, plastering rainbows everywhere and saying like, yeah, I'm an ally and I support you guys, but it's you know, a reminder of the constant fight that we're still fighting for our rights and for people to see us as human beings and not just, you know, a sexuality or rainbows.
Yeah.
We're not a product.
We're not a product, exactly. We're people. We're human beings. We have feelings. We love. We hate. We have opinions and all that. So
We have the same experiences as everyone else.
Exactly.
We deserve to have that be told.
Exactly. So, for example, with what I do with my Instagram is I really try to push against, social norms of what a man should be like or what a woman should be like, or what a non-binary person should be like. I try to push against it all and just tell people it's okay to express yourself the way you want to, and it's okay to love yourself the way you want to. It's okay to just be yourself. And that's what I really want to do. That's what I do with my social medias.
That's awesome. And I'm going to look at you, Egmar, because the work that Orguyo is doing, on the legal front is really great work. And, what you were saying, we as people tend to brush off issues that don't affect us directly real quick. So up until the point that it affects us, in our super close circle, like children, parents, siblings, we don't care about a lot of things. And you are, or the organization is working on fighting legal battles to ensure that people are getting equal rights, in certain areas. And I don't think a lot of people even know that this is even an issue for people in Aruba, although the marriage conversation comes up every so many months, but people still don't understand what it means in real life and why these fights are important, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about that?
Of course. Basically, the reason why we are pushing for lawsuits is because politicians keep saying, yes, we will work on it, we will, but they don't tell you when. And they also tell you like, yeah, but we need a society to be more open about it and give them time. So at some point, you're just waiting forever. You will die waiting, because society will not change unless you as a politician also educate them or try to change it. Society won't change on itself. So that's why we're pushing now for these legal battles. So the parliament is like pushed in a corner. Like, okay, what are you going to do
With legal
now?
precedents.
Because if we get to the European courts, that's going to be on a international level. The Dutch system will be the one being punished by the European, saying, why do you have a country, an island member of us not respecting all the laws we said we all gonna do or keep up. So we're going now on we're now in hoge beroep. That's in Curaçao, I think. And after that, then we will step to go further up.
Okay. And I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't know, and unless you really care about the topic or you have done some research, do you feel that opening up these conversations, doing, for example, Pride Month, is helping people see these things, see that these battles are going on, but also do people know how they can contribute to these causes if they want to? Do you do fundraisers, etc.? Like how does that work? Because it costs money. Going to court costs money.
Yeah, it costs money. We're working with a lot of lawyers and firms that wants to help us.
Okay, awesome.
They don't even want to earn
Charge.
any money on it. Yeah, so that's good. So we're still going on a very very low cost procedure, but having Pride Month and talking about all these themes in this month helps also other people, queer people, that don't know how to come out or need that push. So we see now that more people are like slowly becoming more out about themselves, talking to their parents. Also, this month means a lot of people getting in trouble.
Yes.
Because you also have like gay people that needs to be in the closet. The family doesn't want to talk about it. And now this month, or like having the battle again about equal marriage, is making them nervous because, their family will be like, again, with this, we have to deal with this taboo. So so it's important to have pride all over, but also we need to have backup for psychologists, or how you call like
therapies and support systems.
Some
Really,
people will get in trouble. A few years ago, when they were dealing with the amienda of the AVP party, the discussion in the society was so rough that some LGBT kids got thrown out of houses because their family was not going to support that, and the kid maybe give an opinion about it, saying that he or she was gay and she wants more rights, and the family got completely messy. So we have to take that also now, like that can happen too again. So we have to be careful, but that doesn't mean we have to be quiet or put our rainbows in black and white or something like that. We just have to keep showing that we are here, and what our organization is now doing after June is we're gonna work already with some other not foundation, but people that want to do something, and we want to come up with like it's like if you do a test as a company and you answer some questions and you can show us you have like a program for your employees, we'll give you like a stamp or something that you can show that you are pro equality, or you're dealing with your employees on a level that everyone feels safe there.
Yes, I was gonna say that, because that is a good way of really using this moment, because now you have a whole list of companies who showed support for Pride Month, and those are the companies that you could reach out to and be like, yes, so we saw that you are supportive of this. We have this program.
Now show us.
Yes. I think that is really great program, and I do.
I mean, some company will need help, so it's not like
for sure,
we're not
exactly.
Them.
No,
like, hey, we will have like a work group. If you need help, we can come in, give you our views. Have psychiatrists or psychologists there present and try to explain how it works, how to accept people, how to treat other people. I mean, we can help each other. So.
Yes, and that is a good way, right? And yes, I love that. Yeah. Please do let me know more once the program starts, because I really think that's a very good program. Yes, okay. But also, you know what you were saying. So Pride Month can also create uncomfortable situations. I feel like this is also a great time to test allies. I mean, again, it's not that we're trying to punish people, but I do find it interesting because the conversation is so right.
It's about educate companies.
Yes. Because you will see people who are like, yes, you know, I'm very respectful and I'm pro equality, etc. And then, you know, more topics than usual come up, of course, during Pride Month. And then you will have conversations that are, you know, even more in depth, stuff like pronouns. And then you will have somebody who shared, you know, or maybe has like their display picture, and then they're like, yeah, but I think that is a little bit too much. And then it creates that opportunity that was only created because the information is so out there. So I always like that, because then you get to really push and pull really where people are at, and then, like you said, ideally, hopefully help them. And I always tell people this, I know we should be more compassionate and more patient with people. Sometimes our patience is better than others, and I speak for myself on this particular topic. But I do like that. I do like that if you can create like a systematic thing. But also keeping in mind that this month indeed might be a really hard month for some people. That might mean kids getting kicked out of their house, right? It might mean very awkward conversations at work where where it's not nice. Also, another thing that I have seen happening a lot during Pride Month is people outing other people. Yes, that is not okay under any circumstances. Like, it's no, just I'm not even gonna add anything to it. You just can't do that. And I've seen
no
it
justifying that.
No,
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it. because I don't think people truly understand how dangerous of a situation it can become if you out somebody, within an environment that is not safe. So I do hope that companies and organizations, but also schools and social organizations are keeping this in mind, and people in general, if you're an adult in a teen's life and they're struggling a little bit, see if you can be of support. Just make sure everything and everyone is like doing okay, and see in what way you can help foster that safe environment. But I do want to say that, being a good ally also means that you might sometimes have to hold somebody's secret for as long as they want to. So keep that in mind, please. All right, so I'm gonna ask you, Ames, because we have had this conversation before. So what? And I mean, I know there's no like one size fits all, and it's not like it's one thing and this means that. But what would constitute a good ally, right? In a person, but also when we think of like organizations.
Ooh, okay.
Did I put you on the spot?
A little bit, yeah. No, I think as a person, how to be a good ally is to support your friends, but also to stand up for the community, even when there's no one around who's a part of it. Mm-hmm. If someone says anything that's homophobic, or someone says something that's transphobic, or something personal about someone else, letting it slide is not an option. You have to stand up for that person. You have to stand up for the community. You have to call out the problem and try to educate them on why it's wrong. And when it comes to companies, I think what you said is it starts from internally, supporting your employees, but also it comes back to how you show that outwardly. You can still be an ally internally and support your employees the way they need to be supported and as equally as everyone else. But at the same time, if you're going to publicly state that you're an ally, you have to back that up. And that could be anywhere from supporting foundations to fight for equal rights. It can be supporting drag queens and throwing events. It could be creating a space for queer individuals to come and hang out and feel safe.
Thank you. I like how you said that. And I do think it's important, one particular thing you said, it's calling it out, right? In Aruba, we don't really like confrontation a lot. I love confrontation, but I mean, people in general, it's a hard thing to, so I understand that it takes a little bit more energy of us all sometimes if we see an injustice happening, or if somebody says something that's out of line, to actually call them out. But if anything, let this month encourage you to, start that. And doesn't mean going to full on arguments, but maybe just ask a rhetorical question back, right? Ask them, why do you think that way? Or where did you get that idea from? And just, use that moment at least as a thinking opportunity, as you also learn how to stand up for others and not just for yourself. And I know that, again, might be hard within our culture, but I do think it's important if we want to create that systematic change that will benefit everyone. And I cannot repeat this enough. I think I repeat it almost every episode. If we have society that is more just and equal for everyone, it will immediately benefit everyone. Okay, so it's not that it's just raising a group and they're gonna be better than or more than. That is at all not the idea. It is creating a society that is just and that will benefit everyone. So I think that we can kind of put that in our brain.
I think at some point,
yeah.
Everybody has to realize that equal rights is not only for the LGBT community.
Yep. Exactly.
But it's for everybody.
Amen.
And you as an ally, not right now, maybe you're not part of the LGBT community, but maybe your kid will be, or a grandkid, or any other family of your friends. Mm-hmm. So fighting for equal rights right now is not for us all to just be able to marry tomorrow. It's for a better community. It's a better society.
It's for a better
years
future
to come. Yeah.
safer, you know, starting there. It's not even like more fun or whatever, but just safer. Like that should be, you know, the basic thing, at least being safe. And Josh, as you were saying, you know, we are privileged in the sense that there are places where you could literally, you know, be incarcerated, or you could, you know, be killed for it. It is attached to like an actual punishment. So, you know, great, we don't have that. But I also, with the same sentence, do want to say that just because it's worse elsewhere doesn't mean that we should conform with what we have. Okay? I think it's important to keep that in mind as well, that yes, we know, we are aware that it's worse in other places. We are also aware that it's better in other places, but we should not conform, but continuously just be, you know, finding ways of making it better.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, Brian. Yes, go ahead.
Something that I want to add is that lately here, for example, in New York, many trans women have been attacked, gay people, and just because they're different. And something that I always said to people that are against of the LGBT community, it's not about understand us, it's about accepting. You don't have to understand me. You don't have to know. Like for me, accepting myself as non-binary person, at the beginning was hard to make people understand that, hey, I feel more comfortable going by the pronouns of they, them, or she, of her. And people will say, yeah, but you look like a man. That's your perception. For me, I dress how I want, that those are the pronouns that I want you to use with me, or that's how I feel comfortable with. But at some point, you know, honestly, I feel bad to say this, but at some point I just give up and I just go through all the pronouns and I accept myself. But I expect people accept me when I tell them, hey, I'm a non-binary person. I don't go with any, I don't identify with any gender. And I'm just, I don't identify myself as a man or as a woman. Even, you know, till last year, even in the US, but last year was the first time that we was allowed to put on our ID the X, not male, not female, but we was able to put an X that identifies us. We don't identify with any gender.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. So, you know, little tips. I love that you brought that up. So I love Twitter, and I always follow threads of teachers and, you know, whatever teachers are going through. And this is one of the topics, right? So Pride Month also creates a moment for you to learn what others are doing that can be used in your classroom. So right now in Aruba, and I'm looking at you because I believe that do not have that option, right? You cannot choose like, you have to have one or the other, and it's tied to what you were born like,
difficult to
right?
change from the one to the other. That's not even possible.
Okay, so
besides the fact that we don't have like the medical system to support it either. I mean, I believe there's one psychiatrist that works with that, but it's not like in Holland. And even in Holland, it's a problem because even there you have to wait very long before you can get treatment and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So there's still a lot to work on.
Yes. But I do want to tell you that you don't have to wait until the law is changed for you to create change within your own environment. So something, you know, if you are a manager, if you're a teacher, if you're part of an organization, you're dealing with people in general, maybe use this moment, this month, as a way to open up that conversation. And that means asking people if they have names that they would prefer to go by instead of like their given names. Do they have, you know, other pronouns that the assumed ones? Do they want to share this with the rest, or is this something that they want to keep private? So there are things that we can all do that we don't necessarily have to wait until the law is changed. And I do encourage you to do so. So thank you for bringing that up, Brian. I do think that particular thing can be an issue indeed, because especially for teenagers, for example, I know that in school, like every school has like different rules, and then they'll be afraid, you know. But it's also like the time where they are shaping their identity. So if you do not allow that space, it can be so harmful. So that is why I do want to especially, you know, talk to teachers, you know, just appeal to them. Maybe, you know, an idea for both of you who are in organizations, a project, I don't know. All right.
There's a lot to work on.
Yes, there is.
This island is like
There's a lot of work.
this island is like a taboo island. There's so much taboos going on, and this is only one part of
Which
it.
I think is so ironic, considering that Aruba is advertised as one of the safest LGBTQ plus countries in the Caribbean,
Really?
but
Okay.
we're technically not. Legally, we're not.
No.
Okay.
And it's also of course it's probably in Jamaica it's not safe at all. For some
So
people.
true.
Yeah,
So
that's why Aruba is famous for
Yeah.
LGBTQ, because it's very safe to walk as a gay person. Even
Because we have no laws to
well,
protect you,
I-
but we
I-
have no laws to discriminate you either. So
Yeah, it's
but
kind
still,
of.
but still, I don't know. I have been seeing Aruba progressing a little bit in about acceptance. Like 3 years ago, we didn't have like a pride event so big as we had this month. I saw the advertising, but still, I remember I used to walk on the street and I will have my handbag, and I will hear someone passing in their car and screaming things like fag or those things. Still, there's people that need education, and that's why one of the reasons why I moved to a bigger country. Still, they have to do a lot of work here in the U.S. Imagine in Aruba. So it's about starting with one step and then another one, and we will make progress eventually.
And in Aruba, what I see is that most gay people are not out or are not visible. So that's why we think it's a safe environment.
Yes.
It's just because you don't see all of them. Most gays or lesbians don't even tell at home that they're gay because family or like religious or stuff like that. So we as a society,
still very closeted.
we have learned how to like live next to each other, ignoring stuff. Don't talk about it.
I was gonna
and
say,
as long as we don't talk about it, everything is
it's
good.
fine.
I feel like a lot of people within this community sort of learned how to survive within our environment instead of actually living to their fullest.
Yeah. And those walking around with their bags and being overly gay are the ones who are really fighting the whole system.
Yep.
And people
And
will see
they're
them
the
as
one more criticized.
Yeah.
They're the people that are more queer, they're more out there, that they don't
Exactly.
care the opinion of other. They're the ones that more, even in the gay community, we attack. Like, he's too queer, he's too gay.
Oh my God, that's
It's all loud.
Yeah.
It's a whole different
That's
episode.
a whole different episode.
We'll be back next Monday.
Oh my gosh, but maybe that is a good topic.
Stereotypes?
Stereotypes
Yes.
within LGBT.
How support in the LGBTQ community. That's
It's not just the
that's a
straight and
big topic.
cisgender.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, women
Yeah.
do that too to each other.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And I love talking about that, right? I had a whole argument a couple days ago on social media about this. So
Basically, we all need to do some healing.
Yeah.
I think we all need some therapy.
right? Oh, yes, yes. I mean, been doing that for a while, but anyways.
Good for you.
Thank you so much. So before we, close off this episode, I just want to give you all an opportunity to say anything else that you want us to take away. I do think that, do correct me if I'm wrong, jump in. But I do feel like having this conversation kind of makes us all feel a little bit more okay with rainbow washing in our current situation in Aruba. I do have to say that I am happy for Fundacion Orguyo for all the work that you have been doing and really trying to create a central point where people can go to for information as well, and to hear how you are further developing programs. Thank you for that. Again, I do hope that this pushes organizations to attach action to it. I think after this conversation, I am going to be a little bit more compassionate, not only with like organizations, but people in general who say they are supportive and still might, make little mistakes, right? And yeah. So tell me, what else you have to say?
No, well, we have a lot of work to do. I recently was in Maine, in the state of Maine, and to this city called Ogunquit or something like that.
Okay.
I can't really
Pronounce it, it's fine.
But that was like 2-3 months ago, and they had rainbow flags everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, they have it like the whole year, hanging outside. So you see which restaurants are LGBT friendly and stuff.
Okay.
Why they do it there, I couldn't find out. I do believe Maine was like one one of those states that are very activist in
Okay.
the beginning of this whole LGBT activism, and they stay that way.
Okay.
So let's hope that one day we can be on
Yes.
that level, because we will need it. Because obviously it will be better if we don't have to have a flag for anyone,
Of course.
but that's not reality. So let's work on that. That have the flag out there every year, every day.
Show support all year round. Yes.
I mean, that's one way a company can even show their support and their allyship is having the smallest of stickers on your window
Exactly.
can make the biggest of change.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a cocktail shop or cocktail bar in Caribbean cinemas, and on their door they have a little pride flag.
Okay.
And when I saw that, I got happy, and I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah, I'll go there. I might not like what they have. It might be too expensive. It might be whatever. But it's a pride flag, so I'll spend my money."
Yes.
It's-
Go check it out.
It's that small thing that makes the world of change.
Nice. All right. So
That's beautiful.
yes. Yes.
No, I like that. You know, it's great for everyone to feel seen and for everyone to feel, loved and wanted within the community. So having just, a little sticker or having a pride flag hanging, beside your company window or your shop or whatever is a great step forward towards acceptance and justice for all. And I'm super glad that we had this conversation as well, that I got to see different perspectives from this topic, and I really love it now. I'm super happy. Again, we have a long way to go, not only, everywhere else, but especially here in Aruba. But I'm super happy to see the positive change in the positive direction that we're going in. And I hope that we continue to progress forward and having, not only just a Pride Month where people are putting rainbows everywhere, but just having a rainbow
Pride
flag,
year.
a Pride year. Exactly,
Yes.
and not just a month.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Brian, please let me know.
Well, this is a message to all the companies, entrepreneur, business owners. Please remember that a gay person exists the whole year, the whole life. Don't just think that a gay person born the 1st of July and dies the 30th of July. But we exist the whole year, and we need more spaces where we can be us and be free and feel safe. That's one of the most important things, feeling safe and be ourselves. So yeah, that's my message, and I'm very happy that you invite me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for always, helping me think, not just for this month, but in general, we get to bounce off ideas, and I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know that you were open to this conversation. To all of you, really. When I got to you because I posted a question on Twitter, and then one of my best friends, she messaged me immediately, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" And I'm like, "Yes." And then I also got to dig a little bit deeper in the work that Fundacion Orguyo is doing. So thank you for that. Keep up the good work. I do encourage everyone to follow Fundacion Orguyo, Becoming Equal Project, and of course personal accounts if you want to. Josh's account is amazing. It is great content every day. I love that consistency of great, I don't have that consistency. I'm angry one day, super happy, and then, half the day I'm angry, and then I'm but that's, I guess, part of right?
Human being.
But if you want happy content, feel good content, please follow Joshue, okay? Ames, thank you so much again for being on my show, but also being so graceful every time that I reach out with questions and just, helping me think, and for having a platform that is very informational. I love it. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Please tune in next week again. We will be talking a little bit about stereotypes, a little bit of something that we touched today. If you have somebody in mind that you think that I should really have on this episode, please do let me know. I already have one guest for sure because we were discussing this, and of course, but please do let me know. And if there's anything else that I haven't discussed this month or in general that you think that I should really discuss, it can be Pride related or not, please do let me know. I'm always open to suggestions. Thank you. Be nice. Be kind to people. Remember, stand up for others, not just ourselves, right? Encourage the people around you to become better people, of course. Check in your organization. tomorrow and see what they're doing. Is this a safe environment? Yes or no? Figure that out. Let me know. Thank you to my awesome sponsors for allowing me to talk about whatever I want to talk about. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for giving me this platform and opportunity to bring these topics to others. Thank you, Sopi Mix Studio, as well. I will see you again next week. And remember to tune in on Wednesday on my Instagram for Learn and Win Wednesdays. All right, take care. Bye. See you. Bye.
Bye.
Sincerely Carolina is powered by Lindy Boutique, Proframe, The Shelf, CeraVe, and Crest.